Good evening and many thanks for joining us, and welcome to CoreTV News at 7 with me, Emmanuel Ezekiel. Nigeria's President-elect Muhammadu Buhari has received his certificate of return from the Independent National Electoral Commission within hours of being declared winner of the March 28 presidential poll. He received the certificate from INEC Chairman Atahiru Jega at a brief ceremony graced by the leaders of the All Progressives Congress. Speaking at the event, Buhari reaffirmed his readiness to take on the Boko Haram insurgency. He also maintained that corruption would not be tolerated under his watch.
No doubt this nation has suffered greatly in the recent past, and its staying power has been tested to its limits by a crisis, chief among which is the insurgency of the Boko Haram. There is no doubt that in tackling the insurgency, we have a tough and urgent job to do. But I assure you that Boko Haram will soon know the strength of our collective will and the commitment to rid this nation of terror and bring back peace and normalcy to all the affected areas. We shall spare no effort and until we defeat terrorism. Furthermore, we shall strongly battle another form of evil that is even worse than terrorism, the evil of corruption. Corruption attacks and seeks to destroy our national institutions and character. By misdirecting into self-sufficient funds intended for the public purpose, corruption distorts the economy and worsens income inequality. It creates a class of unjustly enriched people. Such an illegal yet powerful force soon comes to undermine democracy because its conspirators have amassed so much money that they believe they can buy government. We shall end this threat to our economic development and democratic survival. I repeat that corruption will not be tolerated by this administration, and it shall no longer be allowed to stand as deputies are respected monument in this nation. I ask you to join me in resolving this and the other challenges we face. Along the way, there will be victories, but there will also be setbacks. Mistakes will be made, but we shall never take you for granted. So, be rest assured that our errors will be those of compassion and commitment, not of willful neglect and indifference. We shall correct that which does not work and improve that which does. We shall not stop, stand or idle. We shall, if necessary, crawl, walk, and run to do the job you have elected us to do.
Meanwhile, former President Olusegun Obasanjo is urging President-elect Muhammadu Buhari to carry out institutional reforms in the country. He also wants Buhari to rid the country of corruption. The former president said in a letter to Buhari that the military is one of the institutions requiring urgent attention. Obasanjo listed education, healthcare, security and infrastructure as some of the areas reforms are necessary. He also said in the letter dated March 31st that the president-elect's victory after 3 previous unsuccessful attempts should be a lesson to all Nigerian politicians. Former President Obasanjo, however, wants Buhari to work on healing a polity that was overheated during campaigns that was characterized by hate speech, trivialities and divisive comments. Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu has congratulated winner of the 2015 presidential election and candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Muhammadu Buhari. He also lauded President Goodluck Jonathan for conceding victory to General Buhari as to a show of unprecedented statesmanship Ekweremadu said in a statement that Nigerians had spoken through their ballots and commended them for proving doomsday preachers wrong. This, he noted, showed that the electorate are the greatest beneficiaries of the process. Now, Nigeria's former representative at the United Nations, Maitama Sule, wants President-elect Muhammadu Buhari to enthrone fair play and justice during his tenure. He said this at a news conference at his home in Kano. The elder statesman also congratulated political class for comforting themselves during and after the presidential election.
That what I have been praying for has now come to be true. I've been praying for good leaders, and I have seen good leaders. I have seen a good leader in the present president. We have had elections in Nigeria, and I think this is the first time that an incumbent has congratulated his opponent and has accepted defeat. Jonathan is not a politician. He's a statesman. A politician thinks of elections, but a statesman thinks of the nation. Jonathan thinks of the nation, and he's thinking ahead. He wants Nigeria to realize her potential greatness, and that is why he has behaved the way he has behaved. I certainly congratulate him, and he will go down in history as one of the greatest presidents of Nigeria, who has helped to establish or to lay the foundation for real democracy in the country. The message I have for him is, I hope and pray that he will do justice to all and sundry, and that he will regard the entire country as his own constituency. You see, justice is the most important thing in any government. For the world can never be governed by force, never by fear, even never by power. In the end, what governs is the mind, what conquers is the spirit. And the weapons of governing the mind and conquering the spirit are justice and fair play. Behind every crisis, not only in Nigeria but also anywhere in the world, is injustice. Power can remain in the hands of an infidel if he is just and fair, but it will not remain in the hands of a believer if he is unfair and unjust.
The Independent National Electoral Commission has scored itself high in the conduct of the presidential and National Assembly elections. It also pledged to do well on April 11 when Nigerians again go to the polls to elect as state governors and members of the legislature. INEC Chairman Atahiru Jega, who said this before presenting a certificate of return to President-elect Muhammadu Buhari, also hailed the electoral officials for doing a great job.
It is important that we do this for the integrity of our governance process and for deepening democracy in our country. We pledge to all Nigerians that as a commission, we will continue to do our best under all circumstances to ensure free, fair, credible, and peaceful elections. I would like at this point to acknowledge the contributions of a number of stakeholders to the successful conduct of the presidential elections. In particular, we would like to acknowledge the contributions of our permanent staff who have worked tirelessly under very difficult challenges to discharge their jobs credibly. In particular, we would like to express our appreciation to the Director General of the NYSC and the young men and the women on national service who have worked also to ensure the credibility of this exercise.
And with that, from the INEC, we go for a short break. The news returns shortly. Stay with us.
Don't you wish your mommy was fine like mine? Yeah. Don't you wish your mommy was smart like mine? Yeah. Don't you? Don't you wish your mommy could laugh like mine?
And that's why every mom should take 3 Crowns milk with low cholesterol to help stay fit and healthy so she can take extra care of her family.
Don't you wish your wifey was hot like mine?
3 Crowns now comes in powder.
Welcome back. You're still watching CoreTV News at 7. Now you can reach us on the following social media platforms: Facebook, facebook.com/CoreTV News, and check our Twitter handle at CoreTV News NG. And of course, YouTube channel, youtube.com/CoreTV. Leave a space and then news. Now, President Goodluck Jonathan wants members of the People's Democratic Party to celebrate his loss in Saturday's election rather than mourn. He also advised anyone aggrieved by the outcome of the result to seek redress in court. The president said this in a personally signed statement after the results of the presidential election were announced. He noted that the PDP had in the last 6 years established a legacy of democratic freedom, transparency, economic growth, as well as free and fair election. The president also insisted that he delivered on his promise of a credible election and again congratulated President-elect Muhammadu Buhari.
Turning out en masse for the March 28 general elections, I promised the country free and fair elections. I have kept my word. I have also expanded the space for Nigerians to participate in the democratic process. That is one legacy I would like to see endure. Although some people have expressed mixed feelings about the results announced by the Independent National Electoral Commission, I urge those who may feel aggrieved to follow due process based on our Constitution and our electoral laws in seeking redress. As I have always affirmed, nobody's ambition is worth the blood of any Nigerian. The unity, stability, and progress of our dear country is more important than anything else. I congratulate all Nigerians for successfully going through the process of the March 28 general elections with the commendable enthusiasm and commitment that was demonstrated nationwide. I also commend the security services for their role in ensuring that the elections were mostly peaceful and violence-free. To my colleagues in the People's Democratic Party, I thank you for your support. Today, the PDP should be celebrating rather than mourning. We have established a legacy of democratic freedom, transparency, economic growth, and free and fair elections. For the past 16 years, we have steered the country away from ethnic and regional politics. We created a pan-Nigerian political party and brought home to our people the realities of economic development and social transformation. Through patriotism and diligence, we have built the biggest and most patriotic party in Nigerian history. We must stand together as a party and look to the future with renewed optimism. I thank all Nigerians once again for the great opportunity I was given to lead this country, and I assure you that I will continue to do my best at the helm of national affairs until the end of my tenure. I have conveyed my personal best wishes to General Muhammadu Buhari. May God Almighty continue to bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I thank you all.
Now, the United Nations has commended Nigeria for organizing an election that is globally adjudged credible, free and fair. UN Special Envoy for West Africa, Mohamed Ibn Chambers, said at a news conference in Abuja that the country has justified its tag as the largest democracy in Africa. He also noted that President Goodluck Jonathan distinguished himself as a statesman by being the first incumbent in Africa to call and congratulate his opponent before official results was announced. Chambers, however, advised President-elect Muhammadu Buhari to run an open and transparent government.
To expect good practices, good examples from Nigeria. That way, Nigeria can lead with strength. So we believe that Nigeria, by showing the way in the conduct of these elections, and more importantly, by the two principal candidates accepting the outcome and allowing the process to end successfully, they have indeed strengthened Nigeria's standing as Africa's largest democracy.
Now, following the announcement of the presidential election results, thousands of Kano residents celebrated late into the night as Muhammadu Buhari was announced as the winner of Saturday's presidential poll. The celebration was extended into Wednesday morning, with many people displaying pictures of President-elect and the party symbol. They also told CoreTV News crew that Buhari's election meant to them. Now, staying with elections, the Imo State chapter of the All Progressives Congress party has expressed great gratitude to God for the victory the party recorded in just concluded presidential elections. The campaign DG of the incumbent governor Rochas Okorocha and the APC flag bearer spoke to CoreTV News on the victory and the challenges that comes with it.
It is a very sweet victory. Though we worked hard for it, we count ourselves lucky that, notwithstanding the manner the election was conducted in some parts of Nigeria, particularly the southeast and Imo State in particular, that Buhari still emerged victorious. You know, the election results in Imo State does not reflect the voting pattern. Imo State people voted for Buhari, and in our estimation, we expect that he would have had at least 51% of the vote cast. But the ballot boxes were hijacked, ballot papers were hijacked for polling booths.
He also stated some dissatisfaction on the performance of INEC at the state level and calls for the immediate removal of the state resident electoral commissioner Gabriel Ada before the forthcoming polls.
Across the states and the houses of PDP dignitaries will become collective centers. There was no collection of resources at the world level in all the governments in our zone and our people zone. So the results you see, which Jonathan allegedly got from here, is the figment of their imagination. And I hold the Resident Electoral Commissioner in Imo State, Honorable Dr. Ada, responsible for this. I hold him responsible. Because in all material particular, he has not hidden his membership of PDP. As far as we are concerned, he's a PDP man. And we are going to call on the chairman of the National Electoral Commission to change him immediately.
Some party faithful also conveyed their feelings over the victory.
Oh my God, yesterday was the happiest day in my life because, do you know what I did yesterday? Before they called the last results yesterday, when they are expecting the result of Ondo State, I put on my stuff and I went to the street and started telling people we have already won because the margin was too much. So I have every belief that every optimistic that we are going to win and we won this time.
With the presidential election being won, they hope to repeat the same victory at the forthcoming polls. Now that the All Progressives Congress has secured a majority in the Senate, one of the few returning senators from the People's Democratic Party says Nigerians have not been fair to the party. Philip Aduda, who is the sole senator from the FCT, told journalists that PDP had been vindicated by the peaceful conduct of the March 28th elections. He spoke shortly after being declared winner with a margin of over 10,000 votes.
When you say accusation about rigging and talking about my party, I take an exception to that. But I want to say to you that this election was, to the best of my knowledge, in the Federal Capital Territory, which I represent, free and fair, and that everybody voted according to his conscience, and which is what happened. And then we're also looking at the issues that relate to good ministerial, the development commission for the FCC, and so many other things. So there's a lot of work to do, and we're bringing our experience to bear.
Issue of region, I don't buy the idea. I can only say that maybe those that are not ready to vote, like people are lazy people, those are the people that are thinking about or talking about the region. People that are really ready to do what's supposed to, and they come out to say that yes, they are going to live with their people. I don't think that they talk about the region. And I have seen this election fair and true, because election that happened day before so that today is true and fair.
Voting for Aduda Philip, we believe he has done well for the 4 years, and we want him to continue with a good job. And also for the House Arrest member, we feel they have done well. No one is perfect, but we feel they have done well and they need to improve on whatever they're doing. So we need to return them for them to continue with a good job.
Now, with the successful presidential election, preparations are on to ensure a violence-free election at the state level ahead of April 11 polls. Oluwaseyi Adegoke has details in this report.
As the law is no respecter of anybody, the police has promised the election will be approached with all seriousness.
Full compliance. You cannot speak for other people. I cannot speak for a kitty. I don't know what happened there. But I believe that anybody involved should be able to channel his complaint to the appropriate authority. But we are conscious of the fact that in Lagos, everybody knows their rights, and we try as much as possible. You see, the way you operate in Lagos might be slightly different from the way you operate in some places where the one-eyed man is king.
The gathering called for the lessons, instructions and observations during the presidential elections to be taken on board to ensure the April 11 elections are better.
This election of 11th of April is an election that is germane to the growth of the state. So people are likely to vote for personality. You understand? So we encourage politicians to ensure that there's still room for more campaigns, to ensure that they discuss on issue what they really want to do for the people.
Priority voting is of utmost importance.
We need to do more, and those people concerned should demand for their rights. Whenever they get to the various polling units, they should demand that they must be given priority of voting in the first instance.
The International Press Center urges the people to work to make democracy survive in Nigeria. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, CoreTV News, Lagos.
We'll go for another quick break. When we return, we'll bring you a story where Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is making his comment with the nuclear deal with Iran.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website, www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Welcome back. Straight to news outside Nigeria. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said on Wednesday it was not too late for world powers still locked in nuclear negotiations with Iran to demand a better deal. He made the comment before a planned meeting in Jerusalem with the Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives, John Boehner, a leading Republican and strong critic of the White House's policy on Iran. Netanyahu said on Tuesday that a framework agreement sought by international negotiators to rein in Iran's nuclear program will leave with it the capability to develop atomic weapons within a year. 6 world powers and Iran went beyond a midnight deadline and will continue to negotiate in the Swiss city of Lausanne on Wednesday, having failed to agree on a crucial details such as the lifting of UN sanctions. Congress has cautioned it would consider imposing new sanctions on Iran if there was no agreement in Lausanne this week. President Barack Obama has threatened to veto any such moves. And that's our package for 7. To join us at 9:45 as we bring in our primetime news. In the meantime, in the next half hour, join me as I bring you the reporter where we look at major headlines, especially with the elections still around. I'm Emmanuel Ezekiel, and many thanks for watching.